Cape Town, the motherland, the premier city of South Africa. When most people think of Cape Town, they think of the beautiful beaches, the breathtaking views, and all the other attractions that make it a holiday hotspot, not knowing of the deadly criminal underworld that's operating right under their noses. Nafees Modak. While Modak claims to be a modest businessman who deals in cars, property, private security, giving back to the community, and is being targeted for his fight against drugs.
For the fact that there's been a lot of plots to try and take him out. But this all happened just after he had made the case against the Hawks.
While the state claims that Modak is actually a violent major player in the Cape Town criminal underworld, who rules with an iron fist, leaving a trail of death and destruction in his wake through his criminal organization, the Modak Enterprise. It is alleged that there was a power struggle in the Cape Town underworld between Modak, Mark Liffman, and Jerome Buisen. It is alleged that in December 2017, Nafees Modak, along with 4 of his associates, would try and muscle out security at popular Cape Town venue Grand Africa Cafe, using extortion and intimidatory tactics in an attempt to get a security contract taken away from his rivals Mark Liffman and Jerome Buisen. It would be later alleged by top detective Charles Kinnear that Modak and his associate would later be involved in an argument at another popular nightclub venue Cubana, leaving a bouncer unalived. Despite effects for them to be convicted, Nafees Modak and his associates would be later acquitted of these charges. Charles Kinnear was a high-ranking lieutenant colonel as well as a sector commander for the Western Cape Anti-Gang Unit. He was respected amongst his peers for his work against organized crime in the Western Cape. At the time of his passing, Kinnear was involved in the investigation of several high-profile cases, including a guns-to-gang syndicate which alleged that top cops within the South African police system were supplying criminal organizations with guns and fake gun licenses. This high-profile case would involve none other than the alleged organized crime boss himself, Nafees Modak. On November 23, 2019, police observed an unknown man attempt to walk up to Detective Kinnear's home. When they confronted him, a grenade would fall out of his pocket, leading the police to arrest him. That man would later be identified as Farias Smith. Farias Smith would later confess he was involved in a grenade plot against Kinnear. On November 23, 2019, Smith claims that Janik Adonis contacted him from prison to arrange the grenade attack on Kinnear at his residence. According to Smith, he was to meet Adonis's girlfriend Amal to confirm the details. Amal would contact Smith, pick him up in a BMW, and direction him as to where to throw him the grenade. Smith was awarded 3,000 rands to pull it off. It is alleged that this hit was ordered by none other than Modak himself. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kinnear never took the same route home from the station. He also made sure that every day he would arrive home at a different time. He refrained from adopting any observable routines in his everyday routine out of need, but even these precautions would not keep him safe.
The incident, or rather the shooting incident, which ultimately led to the death of Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kinnear, who was attached to the anti-gang unit and investigating a number of cases which have led to high-profile arrests, happened just after 3 p.m. this afternoon outside his home, and he was sitting in the car at the moment, and he sustained a number of gunshot wounds to his body.
On 18th September 2020, just as Kinnear was arriving to his home in Bishop Lavis in Cape Town, he was fired at multiple times by an unknown assailant while seated in his Toyota Corolla, leading to his passing. The suspect could be seen on camera waiting around for Kinnear, slowly walking up to him and firing at him in close range, then running away. It is alleged that disgraced former rugby star Zane Killian, turned debt collector, was part of the slaying of Kinnear. It is said that Zane Killian remotely tracked the lieutenant, many other prominent cops, and people of importance all over the country.
He was tracking prominent figures in the police, high-ranking members of the police, in fact, and also key personnel in the police's anti-gang unit. His tracking of them was extensive. He followed 5 members of this anti-gang unit over a period of months until the death of Lieutenant Colonel Kinnear on September 18. Moreover, he tracked civil servants, politicians, doctors, bankers, businessmen, even members of his own family.
Killian's tracking of Kinnear in particular was extensive. allegedly pinging him over 2,000 times, including times Kinnear would go to Johannesburg. On the day of Kinnear's slaying, Killian pinged Kinnear over 30 times, with his final pinging of Kinnear's police-issued device minutes after he was assassinated. A state witness claims he alerted higher authorities of the tracking of the lieutenant 2 weeks prior to his assassination. Killian would be arrested and charged alongside the shot caller of this whole crime, Modak. Police were hot on the tail of Modak and his associates when a movie like High Speed Chase ensued. The video captures a scenario where a Toyota Hilux finds itself trapped between two vehicles near a construction site. Upon the officer's sudden appearance, construction workers flee as the law enforcement officers emerge, armed and encircling the vehicle. They swiftly open the front doors and seemingly place Modak, seated in the driver's position, on the ground. In the course of the arrest, authorities conducted searches on two vehicles. In the Mercedes occupied by two individuals, two unlicensed firearms were discovered. In the second vehicle, a Toyota Hilux also occupied by two individuals, another unlicensed firearm was found. Modak and his associates were later arrested.
Criminal charges continue to mount against murder-accused Killian. He has appeared with alleged Underworld figure Modak. Modak and his initial two accused were arrested last week after a high-speed car chase near Century City. This is the first time Killian and Modak have appeared together in the dock and on the same charges. The two also face attempted murder charges for an alleged hit on prominent Cape Town lawyer William Booth. All charges have now been consolidated.
Modak, Killian and 14 other people, who are allegedly part of the Modak enterprise, are facing over 123 charges, including the assassination of Kinnear, the slaying of club bouncer Falanga, and extortion and racketeering. The state alleges all of the crimes occurred for the furthering of the Modak enterprise. Modak has since claimed not guilty in the assassination of Kinnear, rather claiming that the police force themselves are responsible for his passing. The case is still ongoing. Lieutenant Colonel Charles Kinnear was laid to rest on October 3, 2020 in Cape Town. He will be remembered as a hero who fought for his people's safety and against corruption. His passing has been a major loss not only to his family but to the whole nation of South Africa.